Do you feel tired and depleted, energetically drained? Do you feel like you're losing yourself to your twin flame connection? One of the biggest mistakes we make on this journey is that we think that we need to fix our twin flame, that we need to help them heal. But the only way we can help them heal is by healing ourselves. We need to concentrate on us and take our energy back. My name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach. I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse, and I also offer twin flame and spiritual guidance. This is it. We give all of our energy away to our twin flame, and this is what delays union. We think that we have to fix them, that we have to help them heal their trauma, that we have to help them awaken. And I know this myself. I would love nothing more than to see my twin and shake him awake and say, listen, I can help you through this. I've been there. I can help and guide you. But this is not how it works. How we help them is by helping ourselves. Our energy is their energy. But if we're losing who we are, how are they supposed to remember who they are? Do you know what I mean? And that's the way it goes. This is the ultimate test. The main objective of a twin flame connection or divine love is learning how to do it better, to do it right. What mistakes did you make in your past relationships? These are the mistakes we have to fix now. So if you're in this codependent energy, like you've always been in relationships, needing their validation, needing their love, needing their communication, this is not how it works. And we will end up losing ourselves completely if we keep allowing this to happen. And this is what it is. It's allowing it to happen. I had to learn this the hard way myself. You know what I mean? Chasing all the time. Literally every time he texts, I'd be like, oh my God, yay! Teenage energy again, like, do you know what I mean? Literally like, oh my God, this is the be all and end all. I need his communication to make me happy. But this is really not how it works. Like, I've mentioned this quote before. Will Smith mentions, what is it? Like, you cannot expect somebody else. I'm not going to be saying this right, but you cannot expect somebody else to make you happy. You have to bring your happiness. They have to bring their happiness, and then you join together in mutual happiness. Expecting somebody else to make you happy is selfish when you cannot do it yourself. This is the thing. We think that we need another human being to make us happy or another soul to make us happy. And this is the last thing that, if we're continuously seeking outside ourselves for happiness, we're never going to find it. So if we're constantly trying to fix our twin flame, this is seeking outside for happiness because we're not actually fixing ourselves. We have to understand, and this is another thing, like, they are our mirror soul. You know what I mean? They are going through the same things that we're going through. But like, if you're depleted, if you're losing yourself, they're never going to find themselves either. And if you keep allowing their behavior over and over and over again, they're never going to change. This is the thing, like, if you keep letting them back in low vibrational energy and, shitty behavior, they're going to continue to do that. Because this is the thing. They're not going to do the work because they believe that you're always going to be there to pick up the pieces. And then they're going to just come back with the same shitty energy because you're just going to say, yay, they're back, and not actually have learned anything. This happened for me. I have to, this is what happens for me, is that I have to repeat something more than once to really go, stop repeating the same cycle. And we go through this energy of frustration then. We're trying to fix our twin. Then we're angry towards them because they're not doing the work. But yeah, effectively, if you're trying to fix them, you're not doing your own work. It's that simple. And that's what I had to learn. Like, I have so many things that I need to heal, especially around codependency and using my voice. I'm losing myself by not being in control. But this is the thing. I come to control now, right? We think that if we control it, it's going to work. The same with our twin flame. They think that if they run and they control the situation, that they're not going to lose themselves. But the objective, the whole thing with the twin flame connection is it's out of your control. It's in divine timing. It's there's divine intervention. This is divine orchestration. You cannot fix this. You can't control it. You cannot control it. It's not going to happen the way you think it's going to happen. And if you continue to, try and control the narrative or try and, do what you did in old relationships. It's not going to work. And this is what it was for me. I was becoming codependent again. I was literally letting him take all the control like I did in past relationships, not using my voice, losing myself more and more, disempowering myself and becoming weaker and weaker. My energy was gone. You know what I mean? And I was allowing his behavior to dictate my self-worth. So, this is one of the biggest wounds I've been healing for my whole awakening, literally is re-triggered again and again and again and again every time I allow my twin flame back in the shitty behavior. And, me thinking, okay, I'll be nice. I won't say anything. I'll just roll over here and literally let him do whatever he wants. And, it's fine. It's fine. I'll be grand. And I was just getting more and more disempowered. And it really was. And I was expecting him to come into his divine masculine energy, but I was in disempowered feminine energy. I needed to come into my divine feminine energy, and it's only with releasing, detaching. And we're afraid. We think that if we detach from our twin flame, that we're going to lose them. We think that if we don't have control in some way, they're not going to come back. And this is one of the hardest things we do have to kind of go through. It's that trust and that faith. That we need to believe in the 5D aspect, believe in what your soul feels, and believe that every decision that you make for you is for your highest good. And if you do the work for you, everything will align back into union. And it will. It really will. And it changes the whole dynamic. I said this before. How do you expect your twin to choose you if you don't choose yourself? And if you're not choosing yourself, your twin flame is not choosing themselves either. And this is the thing. You think with their behavior that they're not choosing you. They're not choosing themselves because they're in avoidance of their own healing, because they're coming back to you every time they feel weak or feel sad or feel like they miss you, and they know that you're going to be there. They're not going to do the work. And I said this with things before, you cannot change somebody's behavior. If you allow the behavior to continue, it's like training a dog. That sounds terrible. Or no, even a human, kids, it's like, or even partners, if they leave their socks on the floor and you continue to pick up their socks off the fucking floor, they're never going to fucking stop putting their socks on the floor. A dog, it will continue to pee on the floor as well if you don't train it. I'm sorry, that sounds like I want to train my DM. I do not want to train my divine masculine. I just want him to know that his behavior isn't right. And you cannot allow, somebody's not going to know their behavior is shitty unless you tell them that their behavior is shitty. You know what I mean? They're just going to continue with their behavior in this bubble, this mask of not having a clue, no awareness of what they're doing is wrong. And that's it. We just continue to put our energy out there. And, I heard this the other day. Somebody said, I'm going to have to fix his trauma for him because he won't do it himself. You can't do that. That's ridiculous. You cannot force somebody to, this is another thing. You cannot force somebody into awakening. You cannot force somebody to do their healing. You're like with anything when it comes to healing or awakening, what you do, I've been blue in the face trying to get somebody to heal. And I've realized you cannot fix somebody who doesn't want to be fixed, or you cannot help somebody who doesn't want to be helped. So, if you're continuously trying to fucking force somebody into healing their trauma, their deepest, darkest wounds, it's not going to work, and you're going to actually push them away further. When it comes to healing trauma, you have to be patient with somebody. You have to give them the time and space alone to do this. And oftentimes you have to heal your trauma alone. But if you do need help or assistance, get a coach or a therapist or a really, trusted friend. But normally, when it comes to the twin flame dynamic, you cannot be the person to heal your twin flame's trauma. What you do in any aspect, doesn't have to be the twin flame connection. Your healing is going to inspire others to heal. That's the thing. You have to prove to them that it's not as dark as it seems. One of our biggest fears around healing our trauma is a fear of what we're going to see. We're not just healing past life trauma or this life trauma, we're healing past life trauma as well. We're healing childhood trauma from this life, we're healing relationship trauma from this life, and many lives previous. So it is hard and it is dark, but Oh my God, it's so good. You know what I mean? Like, look at the life that you were living before you healed your trauma. It was shit. And it was continuing to be shit over and over and over again. Life wasn't changing. It was miserable. But when you got through to the other side, look at your glow up. Look at your transformation. So your twin flame will see that. Not only see it physically, but they will also feel it. They will feel that energy from you. And that will attract them back. But if you're in a depleted energy because you're trying to fix them and not fixing yourself, and I've done this not just with my twin flame, like I've done this with other people. I've done it with my dad. I've done it with friends. I've done it so many times where I've actually completely lost every sense of who I was, trying to pull them along with me. I've done this analogy before. You're actually climbing up a little bit, right? And you always throw a rope back down. That's the whole objective of healing. You throw the rope back down for the next person. But if that person isn't ready to heal, they're going to hold on to that rope and they're going to just dangle there. They're going to dangle there. And they're not even going to use their legs to help pull them up. And you're pulling and dragging on this rope. Your hands are fucking bleeding. And the only choice you have is either let go of the rope or go back down to that level. And you cannot go back down. You just can't. So you have to let go of that rope. And like, leave the rope there. They'll eventually fucking find it again and they will climb back up themselves. But this is it. You cannot do that for them. And you cannot fuck yourself up by trying to help them. And as I said, your glow up will inspire theirs. But your healing also heals theirs. So like, if you've got childhood trauma and they've got, well, they obviously do, we all do. When they have childhood trauma and you have childhood trauma, if you're doing that inner work, if you're healing your chakras, if you're healing your internal system, that will actually energetically heal them as well. So we'll give them the strength they need to do the work themselves. Also, your whole glow up will be an inspiration to them. And they're like, if they can do it, I can do it. And this is what we do. This is how we heal our twin. This is how we heal ourselves. This is how it's all about choosing you. This is so important. And, it took me a long time to figure this out, guys. It really fucking did. And it was just, I always knew, okay, yes, we surrender the journey. Yes, we don't chase. But I didn't realize that it would get to a stage where I would actually consciously pull my energy back. Because oftentimes we're chasing, and our twin is the one to ghost us, or the twin is the one to treat us badly, or the twin is the one to do this, or do not do this. And it was my decision last time to ghost him because I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm actually explaining myself so many times, and yet you come back and say, I'll do this, and then do fucking nothing. You know what I mean? And then literally it's just like, I cannot do this anymore. I was going through another dark night of the soul at the time as well. And I was literally at my worst. I was at my worst again. And I was like, I'm not doing this again. One of our biggest fears about getting into another relationship is losing ourselves. But we continue to do that by doing the things that we're doing. And, we can lose ourselves not just to our twin flame connection. We can lose ourselves to family dynamics, to friendships. Are you saying yes to things that no longer serve you? Are you doing everyone else's life instead of your own? You know what I mean? Are you evolving, or are you continuing down the same cycles over and over again? That's not choosing yourself. That's losing yourself. So that's another aspect of it as well. Like, when you do choose yourself, you have to look at your life. Are you making the steps every day to choose you and your purpose? Because if you're not, you're effectively losing yourself. You're afraid to get into your twin flame connection in case you lose yourself. But you're effectively lost by living a life that's not in alignment with your soul. That's another thing. And one thing I do know as well, I've been on my purpose path for a long time, but it was slower because I was putting too much energy into my twin flame connection. It was still progressing, but it was slow. And ever since I took my energy back, took my power back, everything is moving so much faster for me. And I know deep down that my life moving faster means that will reflect back to my twin and he will come back faster. But if I keep putting my energy, draining my energy, putting it towards him, he's going to go further and further away. And this is the secret we have to listen to, guys. We have to start concentrating on us. And we drain ourselves even just thinking about the relationship dynamic. We drain ourselves thinking, how do I fix this? Forget the how. With any manifestation to the universe, It's out of our control. Believe it. Feel it. See the desired outcome. Forget the how. Well, there is a how. You can fix it by doing your inner healing. But forget about the external how. Once you fix the internal, the external will fall into place. But you cannot fix them physically. Well, you can by doing your own work. You can by sending them energetic love, but not losing yourself to that. All this energy has to come back to you because you are effectively your twin flame. So, like, you know, if you're putting that energy outside yourself, you're not giving it to yourself, so you're not actually giving it to your twin. You know, and if you try and give it to them, you know, externally, it just pushes them away. So what you need to do is bring it back in. Bring it back to you. The stronger you get, the stronger they get. And it is actually that simple. This is how we heal union within and without. This is that simple. You do your work. You heal your shit. And like, that's another thing. You keep thinking they have so much to do. They have so much to awaken to. Like, I know that I've been on an awakening journey for a lot longer than before I met my twin physically. And genuinely, I was like, oh, this is going to be easy. So I've got my awakening done. No, I didn't. There was so much more to do. And like, literally, I was like, re-triggered into so many heart awakenings throughout the last year. Like, it was just crazy. But like, you know, what was I going to say? I'm actually losing my train of thought. But like, you know, oh yeah, the whole objective is if they have work to do, so do you. Their separation is there for a reason. And if you keep saying that they're not doing their work or they have this to do, they have this to do, you have the same thing to do. Your wounds are their wounds and their wounds are your wounds, but obviously they're separate. But like, it's the same mirror effect. Like, your childhoods might have looked different, but you still have the same trauma. Your past relationships may have looked different on the surface, but you still have the same trauma. So you're healing your trauma to effectively energetically help them to heal theirs, but you cannot actually physically heal their trauma. So remember this. You only can fix union if you fix yourself. You can only expect them to choose themselves if you choose yourself. This is the point. You choose yourself means you're choosing your twin. And then they choose themselves means they're effectively choosing you as well. So it all starts with you. Take a step back. Take your power back. Choose yourself, your healing and your purpose path. And then your divine union will align because your twin will mirror that energy back to you. So thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share, and please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. And if you'd like help in your journey, please book me for a free discovery call today, and I love nothing more than to help you in your path. Also, I want to mention that I'm doing my first webinar on Friday, the 8th of August, 6 p.m. Ireland, UK time. I will be speaking on healing after narcissistic abuse, inner child work, inner teen work, and shadow work. I would really like to see you there. If you need some more information, there is a post in my community posts, or you can just leave a comment at the end of this or send me an email. So thanks again.